Hello, my name is James Goodwin and I am 15 years old. I am missing the vote for independence by 28 days, so I am wanting to persuade as many different people as possible to vote yes in September, but I recognise that in the end it is up to you, the voter. There are 100 days left until the 18th of September, when Scotland will need to make the most important decision she will ever make. Should Scotland be an independent country? By now you lot are probably very tired of the numbers and statistics that you just can't make head nor tail of, so for your benefit I shall keep this to the minimum. Over the course of the past year you will have heard a lot of bluff and bullying from the No campaign, visions of a country through rose-tinted windows from the Yes campaign, but it is up to you which way to vote. Yes, the SNP have made the vision of an independent Scotland a bit too nice, but at least they're producing facts. Countless times Better Together have produced falsified statistics and facts which have been debunked over and over, yet they still claim them to be true. The most popular scare story is the one about the currency. The No campaign are saying that Scotland would not be able to keep the pound. This of course is utter bull. What the No campaign says now and what they say in the event of a yes vote are two entirely different things. I personally cannot see Cameron, Miliband and Clegg telling the English, Welsh and Northern Irish businesses that they need to pay thousands of pounds in exchange rates and taxes in order to import into Scotland. One argument that I often use about the currency is the fact that if Scotland were not allowed to use the pound, then we would, for the past 307 years, have been a region of the British Empire and not a union of countries. To call yourself Scottish after a no vote would be an embarrassment, because any population that votes not to be a country would be the laughingstock of the world. We would be considered weak and timid, a people who sing songs about being brave and being a nation again, but when it comes down to it, we were too cowardly to grasp. Singing the Flower of Scotland would invite derision and laughter everywhere. People would be dumbfounded that such a rich country would prefer to let England take all of its wealth and spend it as they see fit. That is what a no vote would be viewed like in the eyes of the world. Since the end of the Second World War, 30 countries have gone independent by holding a referendum, and the average time for negotiations for those 30 countries was 15 months. The SNP have allowed longer than that to negotiate the terms on which Scotland leaves the UK. If those countries can do it, why can't we? I've heard a lot of people saying that we are too small, too poor and too stupid to be our own country. Starting off with the too small, Luxembourg have a population of 500,000 and less national assets than Scotland, but they're not complaining. Too poor, Scotland is widely recognised as one of the world's richest countries. Scotland was ranked 14th in 2012 for GDP per head, while the UK was ranked 18th. Too stupid. The following words are from a text named Hawes Like Us. Damn few and they're all deed. The average Englishman, in the home he calls his castle, slips into his national costume, a shaggy raincoat, patented by chemist Charles Mackintosh from Glasgow, Scotland. En route to his office he strides along the English lane, surfaced by John Macadam of Ayr, Scotland. He drives an English car fitted with tyres invented by John Boyd Dunlop, veterinary surgeon of Dreghorn, Scotland. At the office he receives the mail bearing adhesive stamps invented by John Chalmers, bookseller and printer of Dundee, Scotland. During the day he uses the telephone invented by Alexander Graham Bell, born in Edinburgh, Scotland. At home in the evening, his daughter pedals her bicycle, invented by Kilpatrick Macmillan, blacksmith of Thornhill, Dumfriesshire, Scotland. He watches the news on television, an invention of John Logie Baird of Helensburgh, Scotland, and hears an item about the US Navy, founded by John Paul Jones of Kirkbean. Nowhere can an Englishman turn to escape the ingenuity of the Scots. He has now been reminded too much of Scotland, and in desperation he picks up the Bible, only to find the first man mentioned in the good book is a Scot, King James VI, who authorised its translation. He could take to drink, but the Scots make the best in the world. He could take a rifle and end it all, but the breech-loading rifle was invented by Captain Patrick Ferguson of Pitford, Scotland. If he escaped death, he could confine himself on the operating table, injected with penicillin, discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming of Darvel, Scotland, and given chloroform, an anaesthetic discovered by Sir James Young Simpson, obstetrician and gynaecologist of Bathgate, Scotland. Out of the anaesthetic he would find no comfort in learning that he was as safe as the Bank of England, founded by William Paterson of Dumfries, Scotland. Perhaps his only remaining hope would be to get a transfusion of good Scottish blood, which would entitle him to ask, "Who's like us?" In the words of Sir Winston Churchill, "Of all the small nations of this earth, perhaps only the ancient Greeks surpass the Scots in their contribution to mankind." The Scottish Enlightenment was an intellectual movement and is often described as Scotland's golden age, where great thinkers contributed to world development. James Watt's steam engine led the Industrial Revolution, and Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin has saved millions of lives. Adam Smith studied economic theory, Charles Rennie Mackintosh studied art and design, Andrew Carnegie was an industrious and a philanthropist, and Keir Hardie was a politician, and they had all attracted international attention. The Scots are not too small, too poor, and too stupid, but they are a nation which was once a pioneer of many different things but slowly grew subservient to the Westminster government. In 1979, the Westminster government promised more powers if we voted no, and look what we got. Thatcher. Did we get her powers? No, we didn't. And we have no way of knowing if the current Westminster government will uphold their promise. But it is highly unlikely, as they would not want to run the risk of losing their most valued asset again. They have promised powers, but declined to reveal what those powers are. If we vote yes, we have a certainty of what powers we will get, and we will also have the power to express our disgust over things like nuclear weapons and illegal wars, like the conflict in Syria. Thank you for listening. Stay informed and above all, vote yes in September to make your voice heard.